Hi guys, my name is Neil Tagawan, and today my topic will be about conation. Alright, well, what is conation? Conation is actually one of three major parts of the mind. The other parts are cognitive, which refers to what you learn and what you think you know, whereas affective is what you feel and what you value. Conation, well, is probably the least understood thing, and it's actually what you're going to do, not what you're expected to do or what you want to do. Well, how do you measure conation? Conation, you actually fill out a 20-minute long test. It's called Colbier Index, and it measures your cognitive strengths. Well, how you answer this test is you answer on what you're going to do rather than what you want to do or what you think people think you're going to do. So this prevents it from being a personality test. Well, since you're answering it in a way that you answer it on what you're going to do, 85% of the individuals who take this test actually receive the same scores or within a point of what they originally got. So how does this test classify you? Well, with the responses you give it reviews it and ranks you 1 through 10. 1 being resistant and 10 being insistent. So with these tests, it gives you 4 categories. The categories are fact finder, follow through, quick start, and implementer. Right here I got a picture of my own results of the Colbier Index, which shows that I'm an insistent fact finder, accommodative, and follow through, quick start, and implementer. So you may ask, what are these groups? Fact finder is a term that refers to on how you gather information, whereas resistant would show I'm just going to make a generalization, and insistent shows that I want to be as specific as possible. I will do the research as I can. So characteristics of an insistent fact finder would be research, prioritize, and specify. The next group is called follow through. Follow through is a term that refers to how an individual takes the information, gathers it, and sorts it. So an insistent follow through would be taking a task and kind of not really go as planned on a schedule, whereas an insistent follow-through person would try to set deadlines and try to meet those deadlines as we go along. So characteristics would be structure, coordinate, and plan. Next would be quick start. Quick start refers to the risk an individual takes when assigned a task. So a resistant person in quick start would probably not do something if there's a high risk, whereas an insistent quick start, they view it as high risk, high reward, and they play with their hunches and they just try to go with it. So characteristics of an insistent quick start would be invent, originate, and improvise. And lastly would be the implementer category. The implementer category refers to how an individual takes physical and mental results. So a resistant implementer can picture things in their mind and be like, if I want to build something, I can plan it out in my head and see it. Whereas an insistent implementer, they can't really do it like that, so they would build prototypes and models and try to be hands-on. So an insistent implementer characteristics would be to demonstrate, build, and construct. So finally, why is conation important? Conation is important to me, and I figured out that it answered a lot of questions on why I do things in a certain way. Why do I spend so much time trying to figure out if my homework or my projects meet the specifications? It's because I'm an insistent fact finder. Whereas other people will be like, ask, why am I so, lazy? And why don't I try to be more organized? That can actually be backed up with your Colbier results. And another thing is you can actually figure out what kind of relationships you would make with people if you are actually going to clash with someone, because you might be an insistent fact finder and someone might be a resistant fact finder, and that can cause a big problem where one wants to generalize and one wants to be as specific as possible. Where this comes into play where the accommodatives would be very essential so they can hold that group together. And lastly, it's not telling you what you can and can't do, but it gives you a big general reasoning on what you might be good at, what you might strive better at. For me, a fact finder, I'm an insistent fact finder, like I said, so I would be a better researcher than I would rather be a person who builds things. Well, thank you. Have a great day.